hate driving these mountain roads in the dark.
It'll be dark in an hour or so.
Oh, my little MG can make it. By the way, I took the liberty of parking in your garage out back. There have been so many car thefts lately, they pick them right up off the streets.
We've never had one in our neighborhood.
Well, my little MG is a bigger temptation than people around here usually see.
I'll get the coffee. Oh, Edith, your chain come out of your pocket. You don't want to lose the key to that little MG.
She is wonderful, Henry. You're a lucky man, a devoted wife to wait on you, hand and foot, all these years.
Polly's always kept herself busy with outside activities.
Oh, you mean her volunteer work? Oh, yes, of course. The symphony and a
She worked for 10 years as a nurse's aide in a mental hospital until her arthritis acted up. And if you think that's easy work...
Coffee's on.
Oh, marvelous. I was just telling Henry how much I admire you, Polly. All those boards and committees you've served on throughout the years, and, well, without a cent of pay. So many women, if they'd never been trained for anything, would just sit around and vegetate.
Some people prefer to vegetate, and other people prefer to throw their weight around.
Edith, don't you ever get lonely in that cabin of yours up in the wood on the weekends? All by yourself? Nobody to talk to?
If I needed people around me all the time, I'd be married. Besides, when I do crave society, well, the cabin's big enough.
So I've heard.
You aren't shocked, are you, Polly dear? A woman nowadays doesn't have to feel ashamed for her perfectly normal instincts. The sexual hang-ups of a previous generation are relics of the past. Thank God. It's getting late. I better get down to the purpose of this visit.
Oh, it's time for me to go smell something burning in the kitchen.
Don't leave on my account. I'm sure that you two talk everything together over anyway.
Well then.
First of all, Henry, I want you to know how hard it is for me to say this.
Say it, please.
Well, it's about your retirement.
But I'm not going to retire.
You'll be 65 years old this February, and faculty members are required to retire with a pension at age 65.
Edith, you're forgetting about the Van Voorhees chair.
Oh, yes, of course. The famous Van Voorhees Chair of the Humanities. So a distinguished professor can go on teaching for as long as he can hold himself upright in front of a classroom. A perfectly lousy idea, I've always thought.
Your opinion doesn't change the terms of the Van Voorhees Trust, Edith. The chair's been open for 2 years now, and everybody knows they've been holding it open for Henry.
Maybe so, Polly dear, but the appointment has to be approved by the chairperson of the candidates department.
Are you implying?
Sorry, Henry. I'm not going to recommend you.
But why? On what grounds?
My courses are as popular as they ever were.
Yes, you're still packing them in.
And I have as much stamina as ever.
More than plenty of men half your age.
Then why? I know we haven't always agreed on things, but I can hardly believe.
This won't be pleasant, Henry, but didn't you always tell us in old ethics class that one has the moral obligation to face the truth, no matter how painful it might be?
I'm still telling him that.
Well then, as John Stuart Mill said, the lesser good must give way to the greater good.
I don't see how getting rid of me does any good.
I've been explaining this for 2 years. I've got ambitions for my department. I wanted to be known and respected, and, well, that can't happen as long as it's saddled with back numbers.
Back numbers? Plenty of people think highly of him. You should see the letters he has from colleagues and former students.
Oh, I'm sure he does. The world is full of soft-headed people. but I can see that you're hopelessly out of date. An absolutist in a relativistic age.
Because I believe in eternal moral principles.
Out of date. Nowadays, we know about the unconscious mind, heredity, environment. That world has changed, and the survivors are gonna have to learn to change with it.
Situational ethics. The new revelation. Philosophy is cutthroat competition. Just go to your friendly neighborhood philosopher and learn to justify an excuse for anything you do.
That's typical of you, Henry. Dismissing the most fruitful new approach to ethical thinking with cheap sarcasm.
It's not a new approach. There were 3 ethical relativists arguing with Socrates in the Republic, and he made them look like idiots.
Yes, Henry, we are all idiots. Oh, well, except for you and Socrates. He's always been your convenient excuse whenever you wanted to protect yourself from change.
I'm not afraid of change, but your way of thinking, it's dangerous for impressionable young minds. They need to make commitments. You teach them that all that matters are their desires.
I teach them to face the world realistically, with their eyes wide open.
You know what that kind of realism leads to? When people don't have ideas to admire, they admire raw power. That's how the Hitlers of the world...
Oh, dear God! If it isn't Hitler again! Whenever you idealists want to prove what a good versus evil universe this is, you drag in Hitler. Well, I'm not intimidated.
Meaning you approve of him.
I recognize that he was a human being, a product of certain historical and environmental forces. And when the emotional climate finally cools down and people are willing to see him objectively.
Objectively? Oh, I'm sure he'll just turn into the kind, loving, fatherly type. Is that it?
At least he knew what he wanted, admitted it openly, and set out to get it. It's getting late. How annoying. I've got to be going.
Oh, Edith, you won't get away with this. The terms of the Van Voorhees Trust state that the president can make the appointment on his own.
In this case, he won't.
He's one of Henry's oldest admirers.
That's exactly why he won't ignore my recommendation. He's the type that'll bend over backward to keep from being influenced from personal feelings.
You mean he's already agreed with your recommendation?
No. He doesn't have an inkling of it yet. Neither does anyone else. I wanted you to be the first to know.
Why do you hate me, Edith?
There's nothing personal about this at all.
Oh, that's just for publication. We're all by ourselves here. Why do you hate me?
I don't hate you. Hate is a useless, counterproductive emotion. There was a time, however, when I was younger.
What happened when you were younger?
You don't remember. You pushed me out. I was a graduate student here working on my PhD. You were chairperson then? You worked me like a dog. You made me do your research, grade your papers, type up your lecture notes.
But that was part of your apprenticeship.
More like slavery.
Yes, I was hard on you, but you have to admit, the challenge was good for your career.
No thanks to you. I had a contract with you. You were supposed to pay me back.
What contract?
There was an understanding between us. Once I got that degree, I was supposed to get the next position that came along. And one did come along, and you told me to look elsewhere.
But that was for your own good. You needed to go east to get some experience, or you would have never grown. And you have to admit, it did wonders for you.
A hypocrite! You got rid of me out of jealousy.
Why would I be jealous of you?
I scared you to death. I was the best student that you ever had.
And I always gave you credit.
Oh, it is one thing to have your best student grubbing for you, another to have her compete with you, showing you up.
Can you believe all this? First off, if I were jealous of you, then why, for God's sake, did I, 5 years later, when another position became available, did I hire you?
Nothing you could do about it by then. I had written books, but I wanted that first job. I wanted it badly.
So, you didn't get what you wanted when you were 24 years old, so you've held it against me all these years.
You know, Henry, I am grateful to you. You taught me a lesson in power. You used it to serve your ends, and now, well, I'm using it to serve mine. Well, look who we have here. If it isn't dear old Socrates. I remember him from my student days. Every time I came to this house, I used to stare at him and say to myself, I understand exactly why they gave you hemlock.
Edith, I can't believe you're doing this. You're one of my best students. Haven't you learned anything from me?
Not only am I doing this, I'm enjoying it. And once I get rid of you, I'm going to start clearing out all your dead wood. Everyone around here who takes your side against me.
Please, come back inside. Let's sit down and talk about this like two reasonable adults.
Those brown-nosing undergraduates you've turned into soft-headed idiots.
Come back inside. Come back inside and listen to me. I'm sure if you listen to me, we can work this out.
And the smarmy little graduate students, no jobs for them once they get their degrees.
All I'm asking you to do is listen to me.
And those boot-licking young professors who worship at your shrine. Wait till they come up for tenure.
Listen to me. For God's sakes, shut up and listen to me.
And your doddering old buddies who are just as senile as you are.
My God, she won't listen to me.
Oh my God!
Edith, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Here, come and sit down. I'll get you a towel and some water. Oh, for God's sake.